What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Talk Entertainment and Arts. And today we are situated at Ramblers. That's the current location right now. That's where we're shooting this episode. A big shout out to them. They've been through with us ever since we started. Without wasting any time, today on our channel we have another YouTuber. What's happening, bro?
What's good?
Let me introduce him.
Yeah.
This is Phambili. He's a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
He's right here with us today, and we're going to be talking about a lot.
Hopefully.
Why, you don't have a lot to say?
No, I'm saying hopefully we talk about a lot of things.
So, like, before we even get started, I just want to ask you this before I forget. Throughout, you decide, okay, like, you have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
What sparked your journey into deciding you want to start a YouTube channel?
I don't know if you have the whole day, but I'll try and summarize it.
Just summarize it real quick.
Okay, so usually when I work my other job, I would have two screens. I'd be on my laptop this side, and I'd be on excuse me, and I'd be on YouTube or whatever this side.
Oh, yeah.
My issue is that when I'm working this side and I'm watching something else this side, it's always foreign content.
Okay.
It was just either Americans, UK, a bit of South Africans, but I was just curious because see, how come I never get recommended Swazi stuff? How come I never see Swazi stuff? So I went down this rabbit hole of just actually, I don't know, being on YouTube and trying to figure out if there actually is Swazi stuff, which so happened, I actually found you guys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm not saying this because I'm here right now, but I actually had subscribed to these guys before,
Shout out.
way before, because I have two channels. But my other channel, before I actually made like Phambilitv, my normal channel, I actually had subscribed to you guys.
Yeah.
But I think you also know this, that there isn't that many people. There are not that many people rather
facts.
on YouTube, or I'd say social media that are doing production level stuff, because this takes a lot. Mics,
Literally.
two camera setups, lights, so it does take a lot. So I understand why it doesn't happen. So I was like, you know what, I'm actually, and I like to make film, I like to be creative in that way. So I was like, let me just try it out. Let me see if I can fill that market to some extent with what I would want to see Swaz doing. So yeah, that's what sparked it, if that makes sense.
All right, I get you. So, like, mainly, what type of contents do you mainly focus on?
It's a very difficult
or
one.
do you just go around picking something that you feel like, because it's not easy coming up with something organic, and
Yes.
something that is unique,
Yes.
especially nowadays, because
Yeah.
you find, and besides that, on YouTube you find everything.
Yes.
So, like, how do you specify on, okay, I need to create a video about this thing?
Okay. It's a crazy process right now. So I'd have to tell you what I'm trying to achieve, because off camera we're even talking about consistency. What I consistently want to take out. So what type of content I want to take out. So I'm not there yet, but the content that I want to consistently take out is contents more focused on film, like cinema, things like that. Whether I'm reviewing movies, whether I'm shooting short films, whether I'm talking to other filmmakers, but that's what I primarily want to get to. And I'm slowly getting there, but for now it's just me exercising my creativity. So if something comes to me and I think I can achieve it, I'm just practicing that process of,
Okay.
I have a concept, I want to shoot it, and then I execute it. But ideally, that's what I'm trying to achieve. Yeah.
All right. I understand. And good luck with you achieving that, bro. Slowly but
yeah,
surely.
it's gonna be a fight.
Just patience.
Yeah.
Just patience. And so, like, what other services do you offer?
Okay, so I've been people are approaching me because I think people are vibing with what I'm doing, and people are saying that I'm giving a weird, cool take on visuals. I don't know what people are saying, but people are coming back and are responding to me.
That's good.
So I've actually,
That's good.
in terms of like what services do I provide?
Yeah, do you offer? Just market yourself, basically.
My marketing is I need money. That's my marketing. Fund me. Go to Phambilitv and throw money my direction. But that's not the point. The point is, to answer your question, is what services do I provide? So right now it's mostly collaborative. So creatives come to me and they're like, we like your style, but this is what my brand or my vision for my channel or my social media to be. So right now it's more of a collaborative effort because I do understand a lot of technical things, with cameras and lighting and stuff like that. So I can then work with them in that capacity. But I wouldn't say offer a specific, like I am a, what can I say? Basically it's editing and directing. Yeah, those are the services that I provide.
Editing and directing. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have that more often now, can't we?
Wait, sorry. And social media.
Management.
Not management. I don't want to say management. Management. I don't want to say management. I want to say, so there's different, when you're posting on different platforms, you have to account for those platforms. So because I do a lot of research on how to post on TikTok, how to post on IG, how to post on YouTube. I'm trying to go into like Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. But there's actually, in terms of like the video formats, how you're supposed to upload the thing on YouTube to get the best quality. That's the stuff that I'm learning, and I'm slowly starting to provide that service as well, of like the technical parts of like uploading videos online. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So like with the amount of content that we have in the kingdom as creators, it might be photography, it might be videos,
a lot of photographers. Yes.
A lot of photographers.
Yes.
Yo.
A lot.
Yo, a lot of photographers.
But there's some far photographers. I'm not saying that to say that you're not, but
and the funny thing is, do that, bros.
My bad.
But it's cool though.
Who's your editor? You bleep me out. Who's the guy? All right. I said nice things.
We were talking about photography. I'm saying there are a lot of good photographers. But there's people that are crushing the market of photography.
What do you think of that, actually? I was talking to someone about, I was in Manzini somewhere, and they were like, they saw me with the camera, and they were like, they just came up to me and said, give me a Manzini rate. I was like, what is a Manzini rate?
I know what they're asking.
Yes. What do you think of that?
I know. I feel like, you see in Bawani, we have like different types of photography. And then in Manzini, they have their own photography. So like, that guy was basically asking you to rate the photography you've seen in Manzini. Like on what level is it on? But I'm not there. I'm just saying the photography in the kingdom, it's getting overlooked. Like it's literally they overlooking this thing. Because you have these good photographers who charge according to their work.
Yes,
and it's
rates.
normal.
Yes,
and it's normal, literally normal. We want that. You gotta pay for that. But there's also these people who undercharge this work.
Yes,
and that is why people are gonna go to the level of Bashipile.
So and then they're basically making the markets. They're reducing the market value of photography. Okay.
Exactly. That's the problem. People don't want to pay for the good stuff, but they want the good stuff.
Yes.
But they don't want to pay for it, which is a huge ass problem.
Yeah. Guys, take out money from your pockets. I don't know where you're going to find it, but take it out.
But we're not there. I wanted to ask you, see, with the amount of content that we as creators have created in the kingdom, do we have, can we be able to take it to the corporate world and present it and work with the corporate world?
Okay, you might be asking the wrong person for this, but I'll try to answer it.
I'll just try answer it
based on conversations that I've had with a few people already. Funny enough, you guys interviewed Zinzi Twala, and she's the person I've had this type of conversations with. Actually, my issue is that I am not the social, so I'm actually I don't know how I can put it, but I'm usually by myself editing all the time, so I don't know the market, so I'd have to come to you guys to figure out things like that. But the conversation I had with Zinzi is, if you want to infiltrate the corporate space, you have to you have to take yourself like a company. You have to see yourself as a brand, because corporates wants to work with reputable companies or reputable people. So you have to have a good catalog of work, a good rates, good feedback from your clients and people you've worked with. So it's basically managing yourself as an individual like you're a brand or a company, and then you can sell yourself better to corporates.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Here's my next question. My next
Okay.
question is related to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So you say it depends on how you carry yourself as a brand.
Yes.
Now let me ask you this. Because of Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
now the people who have like the real content are getting overlooked
Mm-hmm.
because we think real life is numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Even the corporates think that. They think in order for them to work with you, you need numbers.
Yes.
Which is not wrong. It is true.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the numbers, but you don't have the content which is unique.
Yes. I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
So
think
that's that. My question is, how do you manage to separate from the rest and do it differently?
And still provide a service, and still be presentable
Exactly.
to the corporates. Whew, it's a tough one. But I would say, well, this is okay. Most of the stuff I'm gonna say is just me summarizing a lot of stuff that I've got off, because I'm self-taught, so it's internet stuff and doing a lot of research. But generally speaking, the consensus is that you should get the basics right. Ne? So how can I put that? The basics right in terms of like your final products must look polished. Ne?
Yeah.
So if you've got that baseline of your content doesn't look shady, I think first figure that out before you even look at creativity. Ne? Because once you get that baseline correct, then you sprinkle that bit of creativity, which is individual to you. That's what will make you stand out. Can see if you focus too much on standing out without having the fundamentals, it's gonna be harder for them to approach you. So work with you, and then work with you based on your creativity. So you must get them through the door with your finished products, and then they can like your individual style sprinkled on top of that. So that's my advice.
Okay. I understand that.
Yeah.
That's actually a good answer. Actually,
It's the internet. It's a lot of research.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So us as people who like create content, because I feel like we have the same market, but it's like we don't want to share the market.
The markets.
Yeah, like the market in the kingdom. Just
Okay.
talking locally. Because some of us are producing for locally, and some of us are producing to export.
Yeah, I
feel like everybody. It's just that we don't have this conversation with everybody, but everybody's producing to go out. Nobody wants to stay.
I love my country, but guys. No, but before you finish that point, I was actually thinking of that, because that's what I strongly believe. I'm not saying that Eswatini is not a great country and you can't actually work and create content here, but I honestly think if you want to grow, you cannot limit yourself to this country or even region, because the content that we consume a lot of the time is not from around here. And I'm not even looking at like American, or because America is like Hollywood and stuff like that, but I'm not even looking at that. You might be looking at stuff from Nigeria, from South Africa is popping right now. You might be looking at South African stuff. So do not limit yourself to Swaziland. By all means, don't do that. So yes, make content that is really, how can I put it? Don't be fake. Don't try to be someone you're not. So be a Swazi, but try to be a Swazi that sells the Swazi culture or the Swazi feel or whatever to the world. I think that would be what I'd say.
I feel like we're so locked into the South African lifestyle. We think that's real life. I'm telling you, bro. Like, this is not a joke. Literally, Everybody thinks you're in South Africa here.
I feel like I'm in Swaziland. I mean, at first night.
Everybody feels like they're in South Africa.
But I get what you're saying. But don't you think it's because, honestly speaking, okay, first of all, I'll say this. Again, I'm not trying to talk bad on my country. I love my country, guys. So, great country, kingdom of, the people. But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that we are very lucky to be next to South Africa, because South Africa is such a...
We're very lucky.
Bruh.
Very lucky.
Us being in SADC is a blessing.
Bro.
We don't have passports. We have travel visas.
Oh, yeah.
We have travel documents.
Yeah,
right?
travel documents. Yeah. That is true.
So you need to utilize that, because South Africa is such a huge hub economically that the country is so rich that a lot of industries are actually boosted by that. In this country, it's very difficult for you to be in a creative industry because the money is so scarce.
Yeah.
Like people, how can I put this? People do not have, and I'm not trying to again talk bad on my people. Like, I'm gonna be just saying disclaimers this whole time, but people do not have a lot of loose change to be spending out on weekends. South Africans are having fun, and that's why earlier on when you said we see people think we're in South Africa, because South Africa is such a vibe. Because people actually, if they work hard enough, they can earn enough to actually live the lives that they want to live. Yeah. Spend the money that they want to spend, do the things that they want to do.
And they literally have those jobs that we feel like we should be having.
Yes.
Like, you can live a good life while working at a radio station.
Yes.
Earn every month.
Yes.
Have a car.
Yes.
A house. Just live the life you want to live.
Yes. And
working at radio.
but that's, you can walk in South Africa and excuse me, I'm a huge nerd. Nah? I like comic books and stuff like that. So I'm saying I'm in my dungeon the whole time. I'm not a vibey person.
Yeah.
Like I don't go out, and party all weekends. But in South Africa, I'm speaking of the entertainment aspect of it, which is, us creatives, because to entertain people you have to be a creative and provide that service. You can go into a comic book store in South Africa and just it will be its own place there in the mall, and someone will be just selling comic books and they'll be striving because they're providing that service to that huge market, which is South Africa. So when you're speaking about being a radio presenter, you could be on the night shift, like but something hour. When you're on the
rush hour.
No, when you're on the 12 to 3 or 3 to 6, like saying,
yeah, I don't
what's the night shift? But that radio slot where quote unquote no one is listening. But actually South Africans, because there's such a large number of people, that slot actually has a lot of listeners. It might not be as much as, like more drive time stuff, but you actually can build an audience from that. Yeah, if you're on the radio at 3 to 6 or 12 to 3, who's going to be listening to you?
We don't even listen to the radio.
You're fighting. You're fighting. Whoever's listening to the radio is not listening to the radio.
I'm not lying though. Literally, I'm not even lying. But we're not there.
But the point is that in South Africa, you can fill those slots. You see, so you could be a DJ that wants to experiment, and you approach a radio station. You're like, give me a chance. They'll be like, okay, we can slot you in on those times. But Lana, what slots are they gonna give you? Because the only slots that are important are the ones during the day, and those are gonna be filled.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening with a lot of entertainment sectors. There's not enough to go around in this country. So I think it's gonna be an economical chat at the end of the day. But I think, because we're so close to South Africa, I'm trying to bring it back to the point of us being close to South Africa and people acting or feeling like they're in South Africa. I think it's a good and a bad thing to some extent. But if you feel like you're in South Africa and you're in Swaziland and you like the vibe or whatever, going back to create content that's also relevant to South Africans. I don't think it's a problem, but stick to being and South Africans love Swazis.
Fact. So
just stick with that. Yeah, and you'll be good.
I feel like they're going to misinterpret that when you say create content that is relevant to the South African. I say Skopan.
No.
Because I feel like that's another thing we need to address.
when I say relevant, I mean we like you will get a South African meme. You see,
That I feel like you just explained it properly.
yes,
Yeah, you just
you are not
explained
too
it
far
properly.
off. Really. So
Yeah.
do stuff like that. Create memes if you're a meme creator, or creates songs or whatever. Create content that's relevant because we're in SADC. We have a shared experience. So
Facts.
just create stuff. Just say good to your Swazi. That's all.
So, as somebody who part-timely runs a YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the fundamentals
Okay.
that you think you need to
Alright.
have?
Alright. You might have to pay me for this information, but it's fine because it's you guys.
Intellectual property.
Because it's you guys.
You deserve to get paid for that.
Because it's you guys, and you ask me nicely. I would say this. Again, these are things that ideally I should be doing, but it's things that's. So again, I can give out this information, but I can. How can I put it? I can give it out to you, and it's readily available on the internet. But the problem is execution. It's very difficult to execute some of these things. I can tell you right now, be consistent. Every Wednesday post. At 6. What do you do? This guy at 6 every Wednesday is posting. I can tell you that. It's simple stuff. We all know that.
Fact.
But you posting at 6 every Wednesday, it's not going to happen, my guy. Unless you decide, I'm going to be disciplined. And that's up to that. So those are the fundamentals that I will be speaking on.
I feel like, do give out the fundamentals.
Mhm.
It's up to that person if they actually take
Okay,
it
all right. Okay,
or do not take it.
fair enough, fair
Yeah.
enough. So for me, again, the first thing I just said, be disciplined. So post consistently. And when I say post consistently, I don't necessarily mean you have to post every week, or you can post once a month. That could be your consistency. So if you're posting a lot, I'd say try to practice creativity and honing down your niche. So you guys are podcasters. That's your niche.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just drank coffee, so sorry for the burping. But that's your niche, ne? So if you guys are posting consistently, try to always improve. So I was talking to a photographer, IO captures, and he was saying that your previous work should be better. So your current work should be better than your previous work.
Fact.
But you don't get there overnight. So when you're posting, as I said, when you're posting a lot, your content doesn't have to be like fire. But if you're sticking to that consistency, just try to improve. And by improving, I don't mean that this video should be 2% better than the previous video, and then the next one should be 2% better, and the next one 2% better. What I mean is, look at things that you are lacking in.
Fill up those spaces.
Exactly. So it's like the 80-20 rule. There's 20% that you're not doing that is costing you a lot. So let's say you've mastered audio because it's a podcast, people are listening to this.
Fair.
But you are lacking with
Visuals.
with not just visuals, but like, because visuals you have to break them down as well.
Yeah.
It could be the camera settings, could be the lens that you're using, could be the lighting, the editing. I haven't even gone to the editing. My days, bro. So try to always look at your footage and say, how can we improve the footage next time? What angles can we use? Always ask yourself those questions. And when you're posting consistently, that's where you'll get your answers. You won't get your answers online watching videos or reading something. You'll get your answers doing the stuff, because you're carrying your camera. It's your camera. You have to learn your camera.
Fact.
You have to learn your lighting. You have to learn your setup.
Yeah.
Right now we're in this area. I don't know how echoey it is. You can be putting out sound panels. But you're just improving, and that's what the consistency. You could be using the consistency for that.
Fact.
And some videos will slap, some videos won't.
Yeah.
But don't look at it that way. Look at it as, even if I get 100 views this time, and then I get 1,000 views this time, then I'm back to 20 views. At the back of your head, this is improved. This is improved. This is improved. And at the end of the day, your content will be better and better and better, and you'll get to the point where you're just happy with it. I don't know if I can make it.
I see what you mean.
You're just there.
Satisfied.
Yes, you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It did, like, I don't know what, but I'm just vibing now. Like I just feel it. And you also get a rhythm with that. So consistency and then creativity, which is part of the consistency. And then also, no, not creativity, sorry. Consistency and then practicing to get the video better and better. And then the third one is creativity. So something that I'm teaching myself is, I think it's a misconception that we're just creative, that creatives. I think we practice being creative.
You practice it?
Yes.
Explain that to me.
So if I gave you a challenge and I said, draw, what's your favorite cartoon character? I mean cartoons or
What's
anime, whatever.
That's a tough question.
This guy.
I'm overthinking it.
Pick one.
Let's use Sasuke. Naruto.
There we go. So if I gave you a task and I said, I'm giving you a 100-day challenge.
Yeah.
Every day, draw a different character.
From Naruto.
Yes. Every day, just draw a different character. You'll be forced to be creative in how you're going to draw those characters.
Yeah.
You see? Because if I said, I give you 100 days to draw one character.
You're going to relax.
You're not just going to relax. You're going to try and perfect that individual character.
Yeah.
You see? Because you're trying to give me, at the end of this 90 days, at the end of this 100 days, this one character. But if I'm saying every day, in every day, those characters will be bad.
Facts.
Because you're being given a day.
Yeah. You have 24 hours.
But the Makpala 24 hours, your mind snaps again and says, we're starting afresh. Starting afresh. So it's training your mind to be creative. And that's what content creation can be as well.
Damn, bro.
You post something and then you're finished with it.
Yeah.
Not that you're finished with it because it's gone. But what's the next thing?
Yeah.
What's the next thing?
You get to challenge your mind.
Yes. Because again, you can chill. It's like an office job. It can stifle your creativity.
Yeah.
Because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
That's actually what I want to ask you next.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the content that you've seen around the kingdom,
mm-hmm.
What do you think is lacking? Okay, not really lacking, but what can we fix that we're doing it that you feel like, okay, we shouldn't do it like this, but maybe we should do it like this. Just giving out your opinion.
No, it's fair. No, I was not laughing to say the country is barbers or anything like that. We are all lacking. Even me, currently, I'm lacking.
We all lacking. Yeah,
yes. Yeah, well, so even within the country, I think, honestly, that is the thing that is lacking is what you said earlier on.
What's that?
We need to not always look externally. We need to not always, as you said about South Africa, we think we're in South Africa.
Yeah.
Nah. I think we need to be more creative and bring it home.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I see what you mean.
And again, I love my elders. But we also need to shape up the media space. Things like radio need younger people. Things like, I don't know what, but we just need fresher people in so many media. Yeah, whether it's radio, whether it's, but those spaces. The guy with camera's laughing, so it's throwing me off.
Can you adjust the fan? It's getting too cold. Adjust the fan. Yeah, you were saying?
You don't want me to pause or?
No, just continue.
Okay, sorry. So those spaces need younger people because I think younger people have fresher ideas. So I think that's what's also lacking because I'm not of the thoughts that traditional media, which is like, as I said, radio and TV, I think they can coexist with social media. So what
They
I mean,
can.
so,
They can.
so what I mean by that is that imagine if Channel S had a social media team.
That's just this with the social.
You see,
media.
and it's just youth and that because social media is we kind of. I don't know what that radio song. What's the radio song that plays? Yo, that's one. You can't,
Ever since I was born, that song's been,
You see?
it's been the same song
You
ever
see?
since I was born.
you see,
No shade though.
and TikTok is 15 seconds. We can't be playing that song for.
Oh, yeah.
That song is 2 hours minimum, and TikTok is 15 seconds. So you need people that can condense. Let's say every single day they go out and they shoot, whether it's Tinzaba or whatever. They're going out and they're shooting, but they need younger people who are in the social media spaces to condense that information. And every single day, imagine if they were just taking out what happened in Eswatini, what happened in Eswatini, what happened in Eswatini.
They are creating the news so that we get exposed to what's happening in the kingdom. Because currently, what's happening, you would find out that. Let me make an example of a local artist. You find that a local artist dropped a song. We don't know about that.
Okay.
And we're not saying maybe it's the artist's problem, or because we're gonna blame it on the artist and say, "Nah, you didn't market, you didn't market it properly." You find out that when you actually research about it, you then realize that the artist actually did everything: music video, visuals, proper artwork, promotion, sponsoring, even perform the song on a particular show. But because we don't have this news, or we don't the scoops that happen around the kingdom, it's hard for us to connect with our own people.
Yes. No, okay, that's a fair point. I was gonna say what was the artist doing, but you named 7 things. Okay, so I might lose potential sponsors here, but let's tackle this one. Let's fight the fight. I think. Hey guys. All right. Okay, I'm trying to answer that one nicely, politely, but I think. I'm trying not to make this boring by trying to fix this answer. Okay, so you were talking about traditional media and the artists doing everything correctly, but they're not pushing them in the way that you feel like they could be pushing them.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, this music thing or any other form of creation, you may have the content.
Yes.
And the content is dope. Yeah, sure, fine. Pop, you have that shit. But if you're not gaining, if you're not receiving the same amount of effort that you use to put out the content,
and
it's a problem.
Yeah, and you named a lot of things that the artists are doing.
And another thing is, you find that there's people that people who you're better than, and you know that you're way better than them, but they have what you don't have. Which is fair.
Could be connections.
Yeah, it could be connections. It could be connections. But because that's what I wanted to say.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm still trying to tackle my answer nicely. I think the biggest problem in that case, if we're talking about establishments, because in this case we're talking about traditional media, which is like the radios and the TVs, and they're not pushing enough. I honestly don't even think that's the problem. I think the problem is, so ideally, okay, let me just go on this. So ideally, the best way to get to your target markets is the fastest way, the easiest way. So if you're an artist and you took out a song and you have to perform it, you have to gig, you have to do press runs, you have to do all those things. That's a long way to go to get to your fans. Now, there's this thing called the internet that was invented, where even how you guys probably know about my stuff, you didn't have to read a news article. You didn't have to see me on TV. I used the quickest way to get to you, which is the internet. And I cut out all those middlemen. You see. The problem though is, and that's why I was talking about establishments, is that takes internet. If I could tell you the internet that I'm chowing per month, you don't want to know the internet, the gigabytes that I'm chowing. You know, my videos, a 10-minute video of mine that I'm uploading is like 2+ gigabytes.
Damn, bro. 10
minutes, because I have to take it out in like 4K. And the most people in stores are not gonna see that in 4K.
Yeah,
people are gonna be watching it at 480p, 720p. No one's watching my stuff in 1080p. I promise you, bro. Unless you're on your work Wi-Fi. Now, it's lunchtime. But again, it's the problem is that the quickest way to get to your audience is the internet, and unfortunately for a lot of us, it's very difficult to have access to internet, consistent, low costing internet.
But that's when you. I just picked out something when you said the quickest way to get to your audience is via the internet.
Yes.
But that's another thing. I feel like we should address.
But
the internet are not the people you know.
The internet.
Your audience is not the people you know.
Yes.
That's another thing we need to address.
Yes.
Creating content for your friends.
I try not to do that.
That's another. Don't do that, bro.
Yes. Basically, don't do that. Don't do that. Yes. Okay, wait. So let me finish my points on the establishments. So is this just a cry? It's a plea that I think if any service provider is watching this, just keep that in mind. Whether you have plans that cater to a younger demographic, because again, nowadays a huge commodity out there is information.
Fair.
Like information is so valuable. Like it is so valuable. I learned all my stuff through the internet. I didn't go to, I don't know what, art school, whatever. So if you give people that access, I think, and again, you could use information to do anything. If you want to be a librarian, you can brush up on your skills in that sense. If you want to, whatever field you are in, if you have easier access to the internet, I think that's the best way forward. And so I do creative stuff and fun stuff, and it's just me and being creative. But you can have niches. Like you can have a woman that's an accountant, and a lot of clients come to her and ask her specific questions. But if she has access to the internet, she can set up a phone and say, this is what my clients actually ask me on a day-to-day basis, post it. And because so many people have access to the internet, so many people can access that information. So again, it's to the establishment that if they made the internet more accessible, I don't know how their business models are structured, but I think that's a huge part of it. And then going back to when you said making stuff for your friends, I actually want to ask you guys this question. When you guys started, what was the process with starting? Did you guys start because you guys have 1.1K followers? I mean,
we ain't counting yet.
No.
We started counting yet.
No, I'm counting for you. I'm doing the numbers.
Luck, bro. Good luck. It's about to get worse.
I'm doing your numbers. But in any case, did y'all ever, from the beginning, when you said you wanted to start this, what was yours vision or plan? Did you have anything structured? This is what we're trying to do, or were you just making up as you were going?
It was structured.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was structured, and the whole idea was solid.
Mm-hmm.
And once they managed to, because I wasn't here when it started,
mm-hmm.
but when I joined, they shared the part of the vision with me.
Mm.
So when the director explains it, he's like, once all the equipment got gathered around, because they didn't want to be the front people like them sitting on this side doing it. They had to get people, and as creators, it's not an easy thing working with other people.
Yeah.
Especially in things that actually require help and or teamwork.
Yes.
Especially in teamwork, it's not an easy thing working with other people.
Especially creatives.
Because we are creatives.
Yes.
We think that we know.
Mm-hmm. Or we have a spin on everything.
Yeah, so challenges like that had to be what's this word? Kwafuna-
No, just say it.
They had to find people who are going to be doing this, and that's how they managed to organize the whole team to put them together. But to answer your question, it was a solid idea.
There was a plan. There was structure.
It was
from
structured from the jump.
So it was never meant. So yeah. It was never meant as you.
It's no luck, bro.
Yeah.
We put in the work.
And I guess
it's no luck. It's a span.
Guess it. So because again, I am a YouTuber. I actually understand how tough it is, especially in this country. Yeah. So it's really commendable what you guys are doing, like to the whole team. Guys, you don't know, but there are bras here. There's a lot of people here. Me, it's one man with a camera doing this, trying to shoot myself. So like I understand.
Coming back to my next question, if you were to do collaborations, what type of collaborations do you think they would have? They would have more content and less time making.
Wait, say that again.
Like if
okay, begis.
A collaboration long I can't begisa.
Okay.
Just if you had to do collaborations with other people, like what type of content do you think can be able to consume easily and quicker to produce?
Okay, so what you're saying in terms of like, okay, I'm gonna answer the question you asked directly.
Okay.
Easy to consume.
Yeah.
Let me start there. It's also tough to say. Do you know what the other problem is? Right now, the market is very flooded. When you go online, a lot of people are doing the exact same thing. So that's the problem. So people want to consume trends.
They don't want to start trends.
You see? So it's very difficult for me to say this will be easy to consume. But there are formats that you can do. So shorter stuff right now is easier to consume. Just shorter stuff. Longer format stuff is actually harder to do. Podcasting like this. But the great thing about that is that, let's say I'm doing let's say I'm doing a collaboration with you guys. What would be easy for you? Let's say I'm here. Actually, I am here. And I'd say to you guys, the best way to make this easier for people to consume is chopping it up. So I don't know who your editor is, but just every single time you're going through the footage and you feel like you have the highlights to it, because you will be listening to this whole thing as you're like doing sound checks and stuff like that. Yeah. Just put markers in whatever editing software you're using. Because this is the highlights, and you keep listening. This is the highlights. You keep listening. This is the highlights, and then chop up that footage, and then just. Because again, you guys have a podcast. You guys don't understand how much content you're sitting on. There's a lot of content that you guys are sitting on. So you just chop up those segments and you polish them up for like a social media format, whether it's, let's say it's a vertical video. I'm at the top, you're at the bottom, so that it fits the screen.
Yeah.
And then you just smash it up like that. And then it's like, I don't know what, 30 seconds max. I'm saying something, you're reacting to it, or you're asking me a question and I'm reacting to it. Yeah. So that would be my easy to consume, easy to make, collaborative.
I see what you mean. Yeah. I see what you mean.
And again, you guys are on a podcast. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of gems that are chilling here. So yeah, that's my.
I understand. Collaborations in terms of of the fashion industry in the country. What do you think of the fashion industry in the country?
This is me dressed up. Otherwise, I gave up on fashion a long time ago. Okay, I gave up.
What should be, bro? Why?
Bro. I used to be cool in high school. I discovered I'm not cool anymore. So I just gave up.
New kids on the block.
No, actually, so I have younger cousins and younger siblings, and they look fly. Like they always look proper.
They never miss.
I'm not even like kidding. Like it was not like that back in my day. Like in high school, in CVs, you just decided, I'm gonna pay this 5 rand and a few people would do that, but most people wouldn't. People didn't care about fashion, né?
Yeah.
But nowadays, I'm actually seeing like the drip is actually crazy. Like it's
crazy.
it's insane.
It is crazy.
So I just gave up because I was like, I'm not gonna compete with this plus. I'll lose. But I think there are actually a lot of people that are creative within the fashion industry, because I've seen a lot of apparel. Like, can I name things?
Yeah, you can.
I can name.
Yeah,
things.
you're allowed.
All right. One, Played Outs. I really think that Played Outs is a really dope brand.
Played Out.
Mark Swag has been there for a very long time. Also
Mark
a
Swag.
dope brand. So, and they're all the best thing I'm Mark Swag. It's always changing with the times. It's never stale. So, and it's not just those brands, but a lot of younger people are actually like saying we're also creative and let's do this brand. And it's not even just branding, but it's how you dress, how you present yourself. Like, it's a vibe, man. So, I don't know. But I do have a concept that I think people should be actually, maybe you can steal this one because I don't have time to do this. But go around town, take your camera, take your shotgun and mic, whatever, and just on a Friday or whatever, when you know people are going to be tripped out.
Drip check.
Simple things like that. But the key with that, going back to like the consumption, when you're editing, make sure. Okay, the best thing I learned about editing in terms of like short format content is that put yourself on the other side of the camera. Put yourself on the person consuming the stuff.
Okay.
What do they want? So if you say drip check, they just want to know about drip. They don't want to hear a life story. They don't want none of those things. They just want to drip check. You see what I'm trying to say?
Only.
You see podcast right now. What's the topic? What are the points being made? Personality will come after that. So don't try to be Phambili first and then your content later. Your content must be first and then it's presented by Phambili. You see what I'm trying to say? Okay. So even with things like that, with fashion, present the fashion content, and then everything else will follow.
Speaking of the fashion, I forgot to give a shout out to my nigga. He made this.
Who's that?
This is a friend of mine.
You have to say the friend. You can't just say my friend.
Shout out Robert Sam, man.
There we go.
Yeah, big shout out. He made this thing for me. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just know it looks dope. But yeah, that's it for today.
Oh, okay. It's over.
A big shout out to Rabless. A big shout out to you, bro. Thanks for the information. We appreciate you for coming through.
This felt short. I feel like there should be a part 2 or something. This felt so short. I feel like we were just kicking up. I feel like we were just starting. But anyway, it's fine.
Yeah, it's cool though. I go by the name of Bablamini. Phambili with me. We are.
Right.
It was short though. It was short.
What was that? I thought you were going to ask me more questions. What, 50 minutes? 45.
What? 45.
Motion part 2.